I'm back with my explosive interview with Robert Blake. I've sat down with hundreds of guests over the years, but there's never been anyone quite like Mr. Blake. I didn't know what to expect, and I'm not sure that he did either. One thing's clear, he had a lot to say. A lot of it's in his new book, Tales of a Rascal, What I Did for Love. I wanted to talk to him about that book, but as you'll see, that seemed to set him off all over again. I've read your book.
Yes, that much you've read.
That's pretty much every detail of your life that you deem...
Here's my phony birth certificate. I don't even know when the hell I was born.
But I've read your book. This is about your life, so I'm much more familiar with your life.
It's not about Bonnie's life, and it's not about my relationship with Bonnie. I made a deal to come here and talk about anything in the book. I excused you from that deal because I thought you were going to go be cool. Now you're trying to drive it into the ground, and I don't know why.
I'm not trying to drive anything into the ground.
You're looking foolish.
I'm not trying to drive anything into the ground. I'm asking you questions about what I presumed to be a very important moment in your life. You've written a book about your life.
I've written a book about my life. I didn't write a book about that night, and I didn't write a book about Bonnie. Now, you can stay there for the rest of your life if you want to, but I'm telling you, you're starting to look silly.
Why?
Because it's stupid. You're not getting any place, because there's no place to get. You're just like the cops. There's no place to get. Keep him in jail till he dies, because everybody who's dead is guilty. Why would I marry her if I was going to kill her? I mean, I was worth $25 million. I could have hired somebody to kill her when she was in Tibet or someplace. She drove all over the country. She was out selling, doing everything. I could have hired somebody to follow her for 10 months and make her disappear so nobody would ever find her, for Christ's sake. I would go out to dinner with her to kill her? What's the matter with you?
I didn't say you killed her.
You didn't say I didn't, and you said it's all very interesting. What the so interesting about it? Why don't you ask me some really interesting questions?
I said that you were acquitted in the court case. But
and
you
that
were
I was found guilty, and I told you 6 times I was suicidal by the time we got...
Right, but Robert, that doesn't change the fact that you were found liable in the civil action. I'm curious about...
You would have found liable if you were in my state.
I'm curious...
You're curious about why I was found liable?
I'm curious about how you deal with the fact that a civil action was successfully brought against you for killing your wife.
Okay. Here's the bottom line. What you think of me, I don't give a
Did you know what I think of you?
Shut up for a minute. These people that you represent, whoever they are, the nuts that you find on the internet, I don't give a what they think. I don't really care what I think about me. What I care about is what God thinks about me. When I lay on the bed at night and I say, God, how are we doing? I don't include you. I don't include the people that you represent.
It's not about me, is it?
Yes, it is, because you opened that door, Charlie Potatoes. I'm not going to sit here and let you or anybody else kick the out of me without defending myself. And you can take that to the bank, Charlie.
Fine.
And if you want to show me the door, that's fine too.
I've got no interest in doing that. This is an interview. I'm just asking you questions about a hugely important part of your life. I don't see that that is an aggressive act on my part. I've only stated facts.
You don't have any idea of the facts.
What if I said
this? If you do, you would said, how the hell come that guy was only arrested for an hour and he was found guilty, and I was arrested for 4 years and found innocent? I could drive that one up your just the way you keep driving it up to me that I was found in the civil suit. Why the don't you go find out what the hell you're talking about?
What have I said to you that's factually inaccurate?
It's not so much factually inaccurate. It's boring. It's boring. You want to tell me about the night because you read it in the newspaper someplace?
Hasn't it ruined your life?
What? That's another matter, Charlie.
Is that boring, the fact that this incident ruined your life?
We're not talking about how my life was ruined. We're talking about me and Bonnie, and me and Bonnie, and you and the people on the internet who say this and that about me, and the rest of that. Don't you feel that all silly?
I've said nothing about you. I've not cast aspersions
There's 75
on
years
your guilt or otherwise.
Of a career, and you want to keep talking about something that has... Go ahead, Charlie, keep dancing.
You keep putting words in my mouth, and you're clearly very angry and very upset.
Not at all, Charlie. If I was angry, I would be out the door. Why don't you go find out why the cops arrested me in the first place? And the chief of police got up before the entire world.
Let me ask you,
and said, we
Robert,
solved the case. Robert Blake is the murderer. What the hell happened to my constitutional rights?
With all that you've been able to find out since that night, who do you think killed Bonnie?
It's not what I've been able to find out since that night. Bonnie had people that she burned. How bad? I don't know. Did she steal everything from them? Something? We'll leave that alone. But nobody ever really knew where Bonnie was. She had 15 ID cards. She had 15 credit cards. She had different places where she lived, and nobody could ever find her if they were looking for her. But one day, somebody opened a paper and said, Bonnie just married Robert Blake. Where does Robert Blake live? And what? A couple of weeks later, she was dead? Now, I just want you to chew on that for a minute with all these facts that you have.
Mm-hmm. Robert, how are you going to find peace with yourself?
I'm not looking for peace.
You must be.
No.
You can't go through life feeling like this.
What?
You can't go through your life feeling like this, sure.
Says who? I'm 79 years old. I've been this way since I was born. I'd argue with a goddamn rock and then try to beat it up. I'm an actor. I'm a performer. I'll give you the greatest line that anybody ever gave me, and I hope it takes you away from Bonnie for 30 seconds. John Garfield, when I was 9 years old, I played John as a boy. Mm-hmm. And I had a very difficult scene to play, and I couldn't pull it off. I couldn't pull it off. And John Garfield cleared the room, and he got the scene out of me. And he said, Robert, remember this for the rest of your life. Your life is a rehearsal. Your performance is real. And there's nobody that can say that more truthfully than me. I have found an audience when I was 2 years old, and they never left me. No matter what the cops did, no matter what you say, no matter what your friends that you read on the internet say,
You're not friends.
They've never, ever, ever left me. Everybody else did. Family, friends, you name it. They all jump ship. But not the fans. And I'm grateful for that.
Next, Robert Blake on the Hollywood friends who stood by his side, or rather didn't, and what he says was the greatest moment of his life.